остается. Ну, еще с собой двоих забери, и окей, можно еще побороться. Можно будет побороться. Первый, еще один. Ну, ладно, и так сойдет. И так сойдет. $18 зрителей у нас уже. Можете написать в чатик, ребят, за кого вы топите. Давайте так, определимся с вами. Раунд с циферка 1, Мегашорт и циферка 2. Просто проверить активность в чате. Сейчас немножко отвлекитесь, напишите, пожалуйста. Раунсы что-то как-то сильно начали играть. В прошлой игре они не такие были. Вчера, например. Там 2 кабай. 2 кабай у нас. Сколько P12 лет, интересно? Мне даже интересно глянуть. Ну-ка. 34 года ему. Лукис. Чё, читает мид? Ой, прикиньте, ну скоп бы залетел. Было бы сильно, было бы сильно. Сейвов играют. Дожидается он своих тиммейтов. Есть инфа, что он за белым, и втроем его забирают. Пока грустно, ребята. Так, подожди, 3 в 2. Ну там кон один заходит. А, его здесь разменивает. А шорт он читает? Да, читает, он повернулся сразу. Как же он отпикал. Жестко. Жестко. Окей, 3-3. Так, ну и что у нас тут вообще? И у тех бабки появляются. И слева последние бабки, и справа. Вообще ситуация прям одинаковая у двух команд. Решили они сорвать ашку. Накидывается флешка, напрягают стейрс. Пока все для них хорошо, для мегашортов. Ну, там есть просвет, кстати. А, ну Твинки ошибается. И кто же? Ризар хотя бы разменчик небольшой находит. И теперь надо отпикаться. Так. Нет, не находит. Сразу. Ну, подожди. 2, 1 лоу. 40 секунд остается. Ну, пачка у раунцев. Пачка у раунцев. Побеляй не пачечку. Свапнулись они, кстати говоря. Может отпикать, кстати говоря. Может попробовать. Подожди, там КТшник даже. Там КТшку даже один чел не пошел. Но они все равно будут фаниться за КТ. Так. Авик. Авик мажет. 10 секунд остается. Нет, он не успеет. Он не успеет. Будет играть. Понимает, что это не фейк. Так. Подожди. Подожди, там авик еще будет искать. А, еще моля кидается. Первый. Второй. Жестко, жестко он справляется. Как будто нереальный клатч. Раунды что-то завтыкали. Сильно завтыкали. Окей, окей. Мы просто играем в жизнь. Денег слева нет. 2К бай. Но это потенциальный выход на 3-5. Но обычно, когда я это говорю, ребятки с пистолетами что-то непонятное делают и выигрывают такие раунды. Здорово, здорово. Решили они под бэшку зайти. Твинки забирают П12. Так, а буст зачитают? Зачитывают буст просто. Как будто он знал, что там есть противник. Ну, нормально, нормально. Живем, живем. Хорошо сыграли, ребята. Прям неплохо, я бы сказал. А 25К выставил. А чё вы такие все богатые? Я не понимаю. Я сейчас Donation Alerts подключу и буду милостник просить. Он и так подключен в целом. 25 косарей Мегошорта. Жестко, жестко, жестко. Ты еще и кэфчик умудрился словить, тоже прикольно. Ну, Мегашорты как будто уже все цепанулись за эту игру. Сильно играть начали. Просто вначале чуть затроили, пистолетиком слили, но результат налицо, там 3-5. Сразу счет. Зен у нас аккуратно играет, но П12 прочекал, кстати говоря, андервиндов. И 3 в 2 уже. 3 в 2. Оло. Вика находит. И остался старенький типочек у нас. 34 года ему, кстати говоря. И 12 мы только что посмотрели. Ну, 3-6. Ладно. Хорошо. Неплохо. Выглядит пока все прекрасно для мегашортов. Прям прекраснейшим образом видно пока что все. Решили у нас ребятки сыграть под кон, сплита будут делать. Укис разменивает лапу. 3 в 4 уже. Уже 2 в 4. Горит у нас кола. Еще одного заберет, интересно. Еще двоих забирает. Кон он читает. Так, ну есть инфа, что это шорт. Все, братанчик, иди за пачку. У тебя есть время. Поставь пачку, зачилься. А, и тот у нас вообще под бэшку решил пойти в спину. Но он такими темпами может не успеть. Нет, все, по 12 очень сильно ошибается. Был шанс у него, конечно, узнать инфу о Зене, но нет. Выглядит все просто для Зена. Он просто должен в уху убивать прямо сейчас. Да. Так и происходит. Чуть опять не втроллили раунд. Ну, нормально, ладно. Оживем. В идеале им 3-9 закончить первую половину, и тогда уже круто будет все. Что-то немножко они побаиваются как-то мид играть. Ну, они инсту не кинули, да, вроде? Да, они просто что-то пофанили. Авик у нас кон чекает. Реально, вы без всего будете мид перезанимать? Серьезно? Странный мув. Из смока вайр выходит. Ну, что-то ребята вообще не договорились по поводу этого раунда. Ну, подожди, еще можно что-то сделать. Сейчас, если они в кон пойдут. Они все-таки-то заняли мид, но какой ценой? На 2 игроков. Так-то. Фит у нас прожимается. У нас никого. Будет буст делать в окно. Да. Да? Да. Да, сделали уже буст. Так, подожди. Неплохо он двигается. Там Укис. Вот Инки находит. Могли бы поверить, да, но, к сожалению, Укис у нас слишком умный. Он игрока читает, убивает. Че и Изина. Так, ну и 26 секунд. Кола забирает Квика. А может 8-4? Тоже неплохо будет. Восемь 4 для мегашортов вообще неплохо будет. А 7-5 печально пока что. Потому что 2 своих раунда отдали в этой игре, по-моему, уже. Если прям в общем считать. Так, Вайер хорошо делает. А третьего найдет он на стейрсе? Да, нашел. Отлично. Отлично, двигается. Джангл занимается уже. Вик у нас по 12 убивает. Ну, Кола под окном не читает. У нас одного перца. Зен убивает Кола. Так, ну окей. Ладно, 8-4. Хорошо, пойдет. Хотел я, кстати, на Мегашортов взлететь. Ну, на общую мапу. Ну, на общую игру. Мираж, да. Ну, читаем, что они заберут. Еще и кэфчик такой хороший словил. Как будто приятно. Слушай, если не трудно, можете подписаться на мою ТГшку. Там буквально пару человек остается до 35 людей на канале. Вот. Я буду вам очень признателен, если ты подпишешься. Франкфурт. Да. Так, ну вот у нас уже пистолеточка. Инки, кстати, поджал у нас бэшку. А лапа его вообще не считает, он сейчас в ухо будет умирать. Там шорт заходит. Приемка жестко от Квика. Так, ну подожди. Ну, как будто Укис все уже не должен это брать. Есть по двоим инфа. Нет, нет. Пока все нормально. Все нормально. Ну и 2К, окей. 2К. А, ты уже подписан. Спасибо тебе. Спасибочки. Ну тут фарм просто идет. Хороший фарм такой. И все. И все, ребята. Так, у нас уже 2 в ряд зашло. Прикольно, прикольно. 2 в ряд. И 35 человек стукнул. Спасибо вам большое, что подписываетесь на ТГшечку. Очень приятно. Очень приятно, ребята. Давайте посмотрим. Тут у нас, в принципе, Мегашорт играет с запасом по деньгам. Но желательно этот раунд им бы выиграть. Тогда уже точно как бы карта за Мегашортами. Зен у нас находит хил по колу. Лапу он отпикает. Подожди, там кон прожимается в тайминг. И сейчас спину будет Зена убивать. Да, убивает спину Зена. Но тут Джейзар реагирует. Лапу сразу меняет. Еще Джейзар килл находит. Ну и 3 в 1. Не, ребят, ну это походу добег для раунцев. Вам так не кажется? Вам так не кажется? Надо, кстати, реально вот Donation Alerts подключить. Хорошая темка, насколько я знаю. Отлично, отлично. Че деньги фармят, ребята? Очень хорошие раунды. Очень хорошие раунды. Ну, все слажено. Ребята вообще не фонятся особо. У раунцев тоже так было, когда они взяли раунд с пистолетами. Но не смогли они, к сожалению, справиться. Мегашортами. Не смогли. Удивительно, на самом деле, что нас смотрит 9 человек, и даже кто-то в чате что-то пишет. Прикольно. Твинки у нас двоих забирает, лапу и кола. Еще читает шорт, он слышит шорт. Но нет, не справляется с P12. Ну и все, опять 3 в 1. Тут уже доиграть надо. Трипл от Квика. Приемка рабочая. Может ли? Так. Ну, нормально. Нормально. Надо посмотреть по ХЛТВшечке. Что там у нас вообще? Раунсы нормально шпилит, кстати. Ну, это может 3 карты. Это может быть 3 карты. Чем может быть такое? Кто верит тут 3 карты? Или он собрал свое и все? Будет он выбивать, фармить. Кстати, нормальная обновочка, да? Хорошая обновочка. Под банан, под банан. Так, выход. Первый. Мегашорт включаться. А, IP-12 кол еще убивает, и только сейчас с Квиком смогли расправиться. Но... Яй-яй в соло. Просто за керил раунд. Неплохо. Неплохо.
Got tagged, but even a worse position for the two Ts that are on 18 and 21 points of health respectively. Again, grouping up towards B. Last time out didn't really work. Hoping that maybe that could change. They left Lapa as a bit of a lurk. Smoke will slow them down, but no harm done so far, as there's still 70 seconds on the clock and more than enough time for rounds to decide on where they want to go. And with Lapa's position in apps, they know that they have a bit of an avenue of opportunity to at least come close to the side. One player with forward positioning might get run down. That should be the case. Vera is not getting out of that alive. Just a question of how many can he take with them. The answer is absolutely no one. And now so much trouble for Megoshort as the attack accelerates the op. Can't really hit a shot, and Jazar plucked. That's basically it, unless Zen can do the unthinkable and bring a frag back. His teammates still undecided as to if they even want to try their hand at this one. Two players on very low HP for that T side. Kits available. They're just pulling back and saving what they got. It will be rounds on round number 4. Vera was the one making the unforced error, of course, with no noise made in apartments. He wanted to scout it out, but the timing really didn't go his way. As soon as he went a bit deeper, a bit more dicey of a position to be taking, that's exactly the moment where you got 4 Ts and apps, and Quick is also going to die. No question about it. Takes only 1 with him, though. Takes 2 more via that bomb explosion. So, not an entire calamity of a round for Megoshort. Yeah, they lost it, but so much money lost on the side of rounds in a round where Megoshort can reinvest. Can't really have that big green in Jazar's hands, but definitely can have some premium weaponry alongside a kit and more than enough utility to fight with. So making a streak of things is still not out of contention. Conceding, though, a lot of space in the early parts of the round. The Ts have basically taken apartments already. And they also might get banana control soon enough should they need it. But Colo opening things up in brackets already. With 80 seconds on the clock, this is a big issue now for Megoshort as they need to balance the books. Nice flash. And Zen brings the frag back. Gonna need to do a little bit more. P12 tucked in. Nice shot to Quick. Brings that man advantage. Now somebody needs to come up with some antics, but Monox to control of B. The defenders need to fight on brackets, and P12 are ready to receive. As he takes a triple in the round, it's rounds, making the streak of things and making life very difficult for the defenders. Definitely with some life left in them, as they already are better than they were result-wise in the previous map. Won 4 rounds on Mirage, already on 5 out of 6 on Inferno. Should be number 7, or rather should be number 6 for them as well. Given the scarcity of funds in the hands of Megoshort, only 1 rifle. Of course, upgraded pistols will be joining it, and that MP9. But unless a mistake is made by the round's players, Megoshort will be in quite a deficit. Nice start from Zen. So just the MAC-10 taken out of the round. still the main guns on the side of rounds are still in play. And that kill from the M4 might force their hand towards B. They are taking it with pace and trying to overwhelm the defense. That will be the case. Quick already dead. Nothing that Twinkie can do to stop this bomb plan. The question is, do Megoshort want to commit to this retake? No kit, no utility. If you want to fight for this round, you're going to have to do it very, very dry. But P12 down to 12, or rather to 28. Now this fight on Banana will be of essence. If the T player dies, that could be a problem for the others, but time ticking away. Megoshort, they're going to have to pull the trigger very, very soon, and Monox takes care of Era. That could be the end of this. There's nothing that Megoshort can do in this one. Yeah, Twinkie's going to get that one dig, but simply no time to do anything apart from finding exit frags, and they actually do.
Terrorists win.
Even with Zen and Twinkie staying alive, they did a lot of damage. The question is, they're losing rounds, and they're losing them quickly. They're actually the ones in the couple of rounds before that have had a good enough buy, a good enough investment to fight, and so many opportunities to actually reset the opponents, but those opportunities did not go their way. Rounds really having a dominant performance on this T side currently. The fact that they're struggling to maintain their budgets, not really something that they care about, especially if they'd even do this initial damage that they keep doing. Twinkie down on 27. Keep them at bay, at least not all of them, as one player wants to go through it. Colo makes it work. Still one defender on the site, unchecked, unchallenged as currently. He's going to pull the trigger at some point. He's just having a lot of trigger discipline. I'm curious to see which way this is going to go. Zen finds one and looks for more, stopping the bomb plan and making a catastrophe for rounds in this one. Saving his team single-handedly. The fact that they didn't check triple is definitely an unforced error. And now you want to clean him out. Not going to happen as he grabs a quad. Looking for the ace now. It's on the cards. It goes his way. All 5 taken from Zen. As he finally gets his team to their second round, still a solid half might be in the cards for Megoshort, but they're going to have to make these rounds count. And now finally the finances come into play as rounds will be struggling to field a proper looking buy. That might cause Megoshort to have a lot better of a result than it could have been the case had the previous round gone their way. See where this one takes us. Megoshort need to seize the opportunity. Gonna have some presence on A, but will that be enough to keep this onslaught coming from the Finns? Jazar's op, not gonna hit. I don't even think he fired a single shot. Kolo's Deagle grabs one. Zen again needs to come into play. He finds 2, and he could not have done better. His teammates falling left, right, and center. And if you're Megoshort here, yeah, you're in a man disadvantage, but you still have to try your hand in this one. It's just not going to go your way. Twinkie in a 1 versus 3, and that off posted up already. Ready to take him out, and it's rounds, confirming a halftime lead. The only question is, how much can they take by the end of the half? Still double digits a possibility after the first 12 have been played. very dire situation for the Swedes. Winning map number 1 and not really doing a lot in the second. The CT side really not helping, and Twinkie just gonna get blown away by these HV grenades. At this point, you just gotta risk it to a certain site. Zen left with that AWP. The only one actually individually performing for his team. 15 kills already in his books. 2 players defending the A bomb site. He's gonna have to be very quick. Vera finds one, but now it needs to be Zen's time to come alive yet again, though Vera actually finds a double and slows down this attack. Lapa is very low. But a 3 versus 2 man advantage taken again by the T's, and you need to maintain presence on both sides, which means that one of these 2 players is going to have to be very heroic, very good. And you know that the op is still in play. You know that the op is in the picture as it fired away. 40 seconds on the clock. Rounds really taking their sweet time. So many angles to hold. What do you do if you're Zen here, just hoping that somebody is going to come into your crosshairs? 2 players coming out of apps, one still maintaining presence at brackets, making some noise. And a molly in Zen's feet means that he must be dead, and there you go. That molly finishes him off. Lapa left on only 2 points of health. Had this been a 1 versus 1, could have been a completely different story, but now Quick needs to come up clutch. And Ikes will be posted up with that op. Exactly where the last lone CT is coming. And it's just formality. 8-2. As rounds are really having a field day on map number 2. Onox extinguishes himself, and he can actually go back through that smoke and keep himself alive for the time being. Did lose a lot of health, but his teammates can still pick up the slack. Has not been an issue for most of them to frag. Ooh, through the smoke, Twinkie gets caught down to 48. And the T is making headway toward that A-bomb site. They, if I recall correctly, have preferred it so far this map. Well, to be completely honest, wherever they go, they're really making some progress. Very little that Megoshort have already done to stop them, and no CT presence on B, which means you need to send the player back. That spreads the defense even further. Megoshort just hoping that somebody's going to make a huge play, because that's what won them the rounds, these couple that they won so far. Zen, unable to find a multi-kill. It was asked of him. Vera is actually the one that needs to do the same, but only 1-for-1s are not enough, not even close. If you're Twinkie here, you're basically on a suicide mission. Yeah, duties are low, but you need to go through a lot to clutch this one out, and no kit, half HP, 2 bullets are enough to seal the deal. Something miraculous needs to happen for Megoshort to get the number 3 off the back of this one. And Twinkie knows that this is a lost cause, a lost battle, just tucking tail, pulling back, hoping to find a frag, which won't even go his way, as rounds count to 9. rather one-sided. First map and the second. It's trading of places where these maps take us. It was Megoshort on Mirage that were completely dominant. This time it's the other way around. So Ancient Beckers, as it already seems in the first half of Inferno. Looking at these lawn chairs before we continue with the action. 2 men of an advantage for the side of rounds. And it's only one player defending the B-bomb side yet again. Zen needs to do something impossible, improbable, that did not go his way. 4 versus 2. Seems like rounds will be getting to number 10 at halftime's end. Would have been a lot better for Megoshort. They won that miraculous round, or rather 2 of them, if I recall correctly. Trezor, though, might have different plans. Can't stop the bomb plant, can't kill more than 1. It's right now up against 3. He's been very good on Mirage. On Inferno, a lot more silent. And Ikes awaits. That op strikes to number 10, and it is rounds completely taking control of this map. 3 more rounds for them to take in order to take us to Ancient, that being map number 3 of this best of 3. Second pistol on Inferno. Let's see what the plan is for Megoshort. They have a mountain to climb if they want to make this even a competitive map, let alone complete the comeback. Just taking A with pace. 3 players defending. Ike's already set up with that USP. Needs to pull back and reposition. So much real estate gained by Megoshort. Let's see if they can capitalize on it. 1 player in headshot position. Though Zen opens things up for the kills now. Actually, the trades now go the way of Megoshort as they lead with a man. And they can actually get the bomb down as well. Monox needs to find this frag very quickly for him and his teammate to have a chance, and that's just not going to happen. P12, last one alive. Interesting smoke right on the site. What advantage does that give him? That's the question, but they know exactly where he is. He's looking for the next. It's not going to happen, and it's Megoshort extending. Oh, that smoke was not of use. It's Megoshort extending play a bit on Inferno as they get the pistol and start chipping away at this deficit just a little bit. Just a hair too early. It could have done a lot more damage. Zen opening this B-bomb site up, but there is still 2 players there to be a threat. A mid duel could have been very important. Mac 10 now making headway, almost catching the player. And now actually needs to catch down 2. A player in Arch, a bit too late. Ike's baited out his teammate, but the deke hits nonetheless. Sadly for him, only good for 1, and that seals the deal in this one. As Megoshort can take control of A, plant the bomb, and get the number 4. With the force buy, rounds will not be equipped in the next as well. Is that the next round could be somewhat of a freebie, of course, with an SMG and 5.7 saved away. I would assume that they might pull out another upgraded pistol or 2. Just still be at least a bit of a threat in the next. Try to stop Megoshort from making a streak of things. Momentum is something that could make a big difference here. If the momentum shifts Megoshort's way, we could yet see a competitive map. 6-round deficit is still a long way to go. They got with a few HE grenades as well for rounds, so they might take somebody out of the picture, at least shrunk them down to little HP. That was the case in this one as well. Nice flash to follow things up. No casualties sustained from Megoshort, but a lot of damage dealt to their players. And now if you're on the Swedish side, you gotta start thinking about the possibilities. Could there be a stack on B? Sending that Mac 10 will actually reveal some CT presence, looking for the trade, and trade found. But at the end of the day, a 2 for 2. Do you still want to strike B? The answer seems to be yes, as the bomb is heading straight over there. So still some threat right there. Colo catches Jazar off guard, a +1. Now for the side of rounds, a lot of trouble still. A player goes through the smoke, but Twinkie takes care of everybody. A triple and a quick one of that to save Megoshort from a bit of a stressful situation, as they're 5 rounds away from tying up the scoreline. But now rounds actually have a bye for themselves, and they'll be looking to close this out as soon as possible. Seems like the feed is just a bit laggy. Hopefully that gets fixed very soon. We'll boost behind that mid smoke. Not going to catch anybody off guard. Still no damage dealt by either side. And as they've expended some of their utility, the CTs need to pull back. Look at this play. Very early, going through apps, looking for the trade, but not going to get it as Lapa gets himself a double. And halted in their tracks to the side of Megoshort. Colo makes it even better. Gets struck down, but he did his part, at least so far. Is down to Quick and Vera to pull a rabbit out of the hat here. 2 CTs already on CT spawn, already posted up. This will be number 11 for rounds unless Vera can do the unthinkable. 13 points of health and a 1 versus 4. Not going to happen. Rounds on 11. And Megoshort back to dire straits. They took 3 on the trot. But I would assume that their CT half will be ending up costing them on this map. Had it been just a hair better, they would have had a fighting chance, all things considered. This way, still a 6-round deficit and 2 rounds only left for rounds to take in order to make this best of 3 go all the way. Now slowing down the pace. $60 on the clock as Megoshort seem to be very interested in this A-bomb site, which currently seems like a very good call. Just one player making some noise towards B. At some point, they should be understanding as to what is going on. And if you look at the minimap, they know. They know this will be an A hit through and through. The question is, do the T's want to go through CT spawn? The answer is yes. Sadly for them, Quick is dead, and Monox grabs himself 1 as well. Still 2 players guarding that B-bomb site. That op could be in the picture. Missed shot. Zen catches Colo. Ik is now on the repeak, able to put down Twinkie, and it's also Jazar dead bomb on the floor. It's Zen versus 3. Simply nothing you can do, I'm afraid, with 12 seconds on the clock. It's going to be 7 map points for the side of rounds. An interesting idea from Megoshort. as they tried to split that B bomb site. That the problem was Quick died way too early. Not, of course, shifting the blame towards him. He was under some pressure. And had he survived just a bit longer, then that attack could have had some teeth this way. It was just way too easy for Rounds to take control of the site. That was just pistols on that sole SMG for Megoshort to try and fight their way out of this uncomfortable situation, but that won't be the case. All the kills go CT's way, and it's 13-5. Rounds fighting back with equal measure after losing map number 1 very decisively. They were quite dominant on their own map pick, and this best of 3 goes to all 3 maps. We will be looking at Ancient. And this is a very interesting best of 3. I did not expect it to be so comfortable for the side of Rounds to win the second map, but we are where we are. And Megoshort, they're going to have to fight a heck of a lot better on map number 3 if they want to stay alive in this competition. And after that first map victory, I expected number 3 of our first best of 3 of the day. It's Rounds against Megoshort. It's an elimination match in Group D. Both of these teams were defeated in their opening best of 3, so they're fighting for survival on this map. It's all down to what basically is a best of 1 on a map that is, well, very commonly featured in best of 1 matches. Rounds came away with the knife round victory, and they are starting on the CT side. Megoshort will be attacking here on Ancient in the first half. Taking a lot of mid control, though. Monarch's ready to stop them as he finds that first headshot. Actually looking for more from Red Room. At some point, you're going to have to pull back and reposition. An A-take looming now from the side of Megoshort, but defenders are still available on that side, and this is going to be very difficult for the T's. They need to clear everything one by one. Bomb getting planted. A player still on boost. Colo takes care of one through the smoke. P2 12 strikes. Lapa there as well to lend a helping hand, and this is going haywire. Twinkie now in 1 versus 2. They don't have a kit, so they're going to have to hurry up. They're going to have to clear him, trying to double peek him as much as possible, and there you go. P12 gets it, and more than enough time for the defuse. It's going to be Rounds taking round number 1.
Bomb has been defused. Counter-terrorists win.
With that bomb plant, Megoshort are going to have more than enough money for a dangerous-looking buy with 3 Galeals and that SMG and Tech 9. Not a lot of utility available to them, but weaponry definitely could be what makes a difference in this one. 3 CTs on that B bomb site, 2 going down ramp, so they'll be taking a lot of map control, especially now when Jazar is dead. Although Twinkie takes care of 1, gets traded back right away. A man advantage maintained for the CTs. If you look at the minimap, you can see a player very, very deep in Temple. Gonna make this sort of a difficult round here for Rounds. If the player on the A bomb side dies, that could toss a wrench into the gears of the defenders. Still 1 player maintaining presence in Cave, but there you go. Vera now strikes, but do they expect a player on site? That should be the case. The question is, can he hold fast and hold strong? Zen dead. Again, man advantage reestablished by Rounds. Every time they lose a player, they find a way to break the deadlock, make it easier for themselves, and Vera is alone. No chance of survival, no chance of fighting for this one. It will be the second round going the way of the CTs as they continue with the momentum built up on Inferno. Should be a quick and easy cleanup. Yeah, and it is a deco on the side of Megoshort. They try their hand at it a couple of times. throughout this best of three so far. Shouldn't be a big problem for rounds to take care of these straight T's, as they're already in 5 versus 2. Quick and Twinkie left for the Swedes, as they're hoping to at least dish out some damage. And if you're Ikes here, you can definitely toss yourself into the remaining T's, try to build up some economy, get some money in the back pocket of yourself, and maybe even whip out that big green as soon as the time is ready. Already a player in T spawn. Onox just tripping away at Quick, and Twinkie dead. $600 for Ikes, as I've already mentioned. He was looking for as many kills as possible. Didn't get more than one, but still 3-0 start for rounds, and now Megoshort can invest. Let's see what the plan is for their T side of Ancient. I would assume they really need this one, not just for the result, but also for their confidence. You win the first map easily, you get to the second, and you get stomped on it. Everything just goes haywire, even the rounds that should have gone in your favor. Could mess with the morale of their side. They need some opener. They need something to keep their heads up. A lot of space acquired again towards A, scarcely guarded, as is most often the case. But now with 3 T's already setting up shop over there is going to make it a bit difficult for the rounds players to start the retake, especially with still there being a lone T lurking across the map and maintaining himself as a threat. Bomb down. Let's see what the plan is for rounds. They still have utility to expend, and they have kits on 4 of their players. So the defuse won't be a problem as long as they can get to the bomb, which is an objective in and of itself. Still no casualty made. Bomb almost ticking to half, so at some point you're gonna have to pull the trigger. You're gonna have to start a fight, but everything just goes Megoshort's way. They find the kills necessary, and they put an end to this very impotent retake that rounds try to start as Megoshort get their first on the board on map number 3. Nice start for Drazar, making headway in Cave, finding that early +1. Not even trade made as he was legged by that AWP. Nike's down to 31. He's going to have to be careful for the remainder of the round, trying to get some forward position against Colo, but he's going to die. Nike's alone in an uncomfortable spot. Somehow getting the hell out of dodge, but this side is lost, and it seems like the round might be following as it is a 5 versus 3. You won't even try your hand at a retake. Bomb will get planted, and it will just be a 1-round game after 5 played. Already on a bit of a hunt. The T's know that their life is going to get a lot more easy if they can take away. Doesn't seem to be that big of an issue, as they'll be maintaining at least some of their weaponry for the next. Well, make it just 2 guns, in fact. Lampa somehow surviving to freeze time, so they're going to have that op and M4 to use. However, rest of the team not looking so great. Going to need to make some concessions. Go for an eco so they can have a buy in the next. Megoshort managed to braid the economy of the opponents, but still, that op and M4 could be a threat, could be a nuisance. Followed up by an upgraded pistol in the hands of Colo. Zen going alone through A main, might lose his A cave. He's not careful enough. Colo still just holding the line in A main. Ooh, shoulder spot, and now a bit of trouble, but there you go. Colo can actually trap that AK. Gonna have to do it as soon as possible as the T's want to go through Donut. That will be the case. Still some threat to be made by the CTs. Bomb will go down. A disadvantage post plan for Megoshort. Yankees is up. Still needs to strike. Should he find the next pick that could make this retake possible? There you go. Lapa does. Now they steamroll into the site. All of a sudden, it's a 2 versus 4. A very uncomfortable position for Megoshort, or rather for, the defenders of this bomb just touching that defuse and now clearing Donut up. USB will be enough for 1. Drazar in a 1 versus 4, finding 2, looking for the next, but the bomb will get defused, and rounds steal away this. Lapa even saving that AWP for the next. A bit of a problem for Megoshort. Not a catastrophe, but definitely something that will just pull the wind straight from your sails. Some pace try to be made by Zen. Unable to do it, but Vera finds a frag and opens things up towards A. Upshot misses. That will cause Megoshort to have a lot of space toward that B-bomb site. Vera had nice timing. Heard the shot. Managed to bring that frag to his team. P12 follows his teammate to the grave, and it's only Monox and Colo left. You want to save what you got. Again, a 1-round game. This time unable to salvage a relatively low percentage round. His rounds, even grabbing that off is a possibility, and that will be the case. Twinkie grabs hold of that big green. I said that this could be a close fought affair on map number 3. Currently is delivering. The T's trying to tighten the news just a little bit. That won't go their way. It's Colo upgrades to an AK, but Mono's dead. Looking for the next, trying to make them unable to save these guns. Won't be the case, as that AK will be salvaged for the next, but is the only rifle they will have unless they want to invest. So many T's dying in that previous round, you might even want to consider that as an option. At least you have the money to have a partial investment. Zen disconnected. So it will be a bit of a break. It's currently a tactical break. Could turn into a technical one as we're waiting for that 5th T to join us, and he will. So no necessity to go for a tech pause as play moves on map number 3. It's the smokes flying for Evan in Red Room. And side of Megoshort, but they will be leaning heavily toward that A-bomb side. It did provide them with a lot of good things so far in this map. So if it ain't broke. So, how the hell did P12 connect to Jazar's head? Didn't even lose a single sliver of HP. This is now again a dicey situation for Megoshort. Ooh, though, a backstab coming in. How did they not know how close Vera was? Great spray down takes care of 2, and that's the AK on the floor. This is the round that actually will cause Megoshort to even up the scoreline. There's simply nothing Nikes and Lapa can do. They'll get gunned down at some point, I'm sure. That Deagle, though, takes care of 1. Lapa can't take a gun away from the T's, and Nikes can. He's actually doing some pretty good work. He's making a dent in that T economy. It's not perfect just yet. It's going to be pretty good, of course, when this round is finished, but causing some damage. might be good on the long run, and grabbing an AK certainly doesn't hurt. 4-4 after 8 rounds played. Megoshort can be content with their T campaign so far. On a very well-balanced map, still most teams pick the CT side, and that's the case for a reason. So a couple of more for them to win, and they'll be very, very pleased with the first half played. Of course, rounds are still definitely in play. P12 opts for that M4 instead of the MP7 he had in his hands. No op on the CT side, as was expected. We'll see, of course, what the future of this round brings. 3 CT players allocated toward that B bomb site, and it seems like the B hit is looming. It's happening as we speak. P12 only good for 1, but Ike's good on the trade. A 2 for 1, that's not a bad trade for the side of rounds. That is, it will halt that T approach. They're going to have to search for their victory in this round elsewhere. Some utility expended toward that B-bomb site, still undecided as to where they want to go, as the utility has been traded. That smoke will keep them at bay for a bit. Contact gonna happen in cave. Ikes takes care of one. Drays are good on the trade, but is it too little? Is it too late? 20 seconds on the clock. If you're Megoshort, you gotta hurry up. Can't connect with that op through the wall. Quick knows that he needs to clear everything out, but simply no chance of doing that. Drays are covering with the sniper, and bomb will get planted. Yeah, Quick is quite low, but Jazar can still be a threat with this AWP, and he's looking to be. Finds one more. That's a triple in the round, and now a clutch ass of Monox. This round fell flat on the face of rounds, and Monox will just be walking into the crosshair of Jazar. No trouble for that op to get the quad kill. 13-4. Jazar having a field day here as he brings Megoshort into the lead, and they have completely walked off the defeat on Inferno. Now Ancient seems to be going in their favor, again breaking the economy of rounds. Again, pistols just up against them. Megoshort can make a streak of things out of this. There's going to be a lot of action on ramp. Pistols doing damage along with that MP9. A 3-for-1 trade. Very positive for what the hell did just Jazar hit? Through the smoke wall on no scope. That might be the Hail Mary they were looking for in this round. Quick, next on the dropping block. Can he find the next kill? The answer is yes. Well, Jazar is the one that does it. And it's only Monox left with the USP and another no-scope hit. Jazar is really feeling good. 7 rounds, or rather 7 kills in 2 rounds consecutive. This op is really making a dent in the defensive round. 16-4. I've been watching this guy play Counter-Strike for a heck of a long time, and this is one of the better performances I've seen come out of him. Maybe taking mid with pace. Monox might have to be careful. Great utility usage by the CTs as they take 1T out of play already, but Monox was not ready for that next contact. Brought it back into a 4v4. They'll spread the defense a little bit across the map as the CTs are shifting their pieces toward that A bomb site, but the Megoshort players are still undecided as to where they want to go. They're waiting for a CT to make a mistake before they group up and go to a site. 70 seconds on the clock. Still more than enough time to do something, and that mistake could be made right now. Ikes peeks and takes care of Zen. I thought there was going to be a crossfire established, but Quick was way too far away from his teammate, could not support. So it's a man advantage for rounds at this point. But that B bomb site is very scarcely guarded. Only one player, and covering it from quite far away. His teammates will be on a relatively slow rotation, which means that when this execute begins, it's just free real estate for the Megoshort boys. They'll be doing just that, taking control of the site. Still, some damage could be dealt. The rotators are here, and they are ready to even try and stop the bomb plan. That won't be the case, but a player will be burning in the flames. J-Zar getting the hell out of dodge. His off, instrumental, but now out of play. A 2 versus 4 now asked of Quick and Twinkie. Up posted. On ramp, one player in cave. Now the Finns are coming in. Let's see if they can actually stop this approach. Quick doesn't. The Twinkie clutch. Ooh, that's a nice play from Quick. Knows where the last guy is. Can he clutch a 1 versus 4? Not going to happen. Unfortunately for him, it goes Colo's way, and again, a 1-round game.
Bomb has been defused. Counter-terrorists win. Bomb has been defused. Counter-terrorists win.
Back on a very slim looking by the side of Megoshort, looking to do the same to them that already happened. T's looking to take mid control. A lot of action going on that part of the map, but everything goes Rounds' way. Even tripping away at Jazar now. Left on 24 points of health, under the question of what he can do. His teammates are actually going to have to pick up the slack. Vita hiding in the smoke, finds the first, looks for the second, and gets it. Unable to land number 3, but maybe he did just enough for Twinkie and Jazar to be in a positive spot, a spot where they can steal away this round. More than 60 seconds on the clock. Rounds just need to group up and go for a site. Nobody on the side of Megoshort will be making a risky play at this point, just tucking themselves in and hoping for the best. As I say that, Twinkie is down ramp already. Ooh, that's a whiff. That's a whiff and a half. And now is Jazar alone in a 1 versus 3, wrong side of the map as the T's are making their way to the A-bomb site. Jazar did some incredible things so far for his team, but this one might be a little bit more than he bargained for. It's going to be 9-7, no question about it. And it looks like a surefire way for the side of Rounds to get to double digits. If Jazar will be happy just to save that AK. Oh, that's not going to happen, though. Looking for those exit frags costs him his life, and his team will basically just have USPs in the next. Maybe 1 or 2 upgraded pistols. Definitely looks like a shoo-in for Rounds to get to double digits. Looks like just a cleanup, unless somebody on the Megoshort side does something improbable, which doesn't seem to be the case. Rounds will be hitting number 10, and 3 more necessary for them to grab the W in this best of 3, survive for another day in the CCT 6 play-ins. Not even losing a single player so far. Of course, if you're Monox, you can already begin the hunt for the last guy. Hope to get some money additionally with that Mac 10. Won't be the case as he's quite far away, but Rounds slowly but surely escaping the noose, escaping the hangman, and putting themselves in a good spot. 3 rounds the difference in the first half. 3 rounds are nothing in the second. They could be quite important of a lead. Megoshort back on a bye, but should they lose this one, could be a catastrophe for their odds of making it through at least this best of 3. Don't forget, it's an elimination match. The team that loses finishes their competition here. Seems like they're expecting a B hit. Nice nades. Quick down to 55. That second nade missed just by a hair. Could have done even further damage. Still 3 CTs defending that B bomb side. Rather make it 4. So it's not going to be easy for the rounds boys to break things open here. And some aggression might be made on ramp. That could yield dividends here for this side of Megoshort. If they go down ramp unspotted, now they're spotted, but it might be a bit too late as they grab 2 kills in quick succession, a 2-for-1 trade. Now trying to answer back is the side of rounds, but one player is very low. Brings it back into a 3 versus 3. Quick and Zen are on half HP. But Ike's a stiff breeze from depth. He's going to be the first to go through this smoke. Monox looking for the trade for his team. Unable to find it quickly enough. Quick can reposition and a cleanup. It's Megoshort getting back on the board. 10-8. Not letting rounds escape. With rounds they won so far, the T's don't really need to worry about their economy, at least not for this one. They're going to have a proper looking buy. The only concession made is these 2 Galils. Mikey's, though, opening things up very well. +1 for his team. And damage dealt to the CTs additionally. Jazar and Vera around half HP. This puts them in a front-running position to get a victory in this round and put themselves on 11. Mikey's just covering Molly to clear even more. That's not deep enough to clear out a player in cave. Oh, though, he's going to clear out Zen. Do they expect another? That's the question. Twinkie tucked in. Might still prove to be a threat, but they don't want to go to the B-bomb site just yet. A player in Donut might be the next point of contact, might be the next on the chopping block still. Of course, that smoke needs to fade. Missed shot from the up, but fixed by La Paz Galil. Somebody needs to get something incredible done, and it won't be Vera. It needs to be Twinkie. 1 versus 4. I think he already gave up this round. Actually slipped the net and took care of the upper. But now his position is known, and the bomb has been planted. So what do you do in this one? No kit. Grabs the op. Might be a good idea just to get the hell out of Dodge and save it for the next. As the money won't be great on the side of Megoshort. They're going to, I would assume, opt for a buy, given the dire situation of the result. But they can feel this best of 3 slipping away from them.
Terrorists win.
Twinkie will keep that AWP in his hands. Transitioned, I would assume, to Jazar. He felt really good with the op in the first half. Second half, not so much. Not really doing a lot in terms of fragging. His teammates were mostly the ones getting the kills. He played incredibly in the first 12 rounds. Slowed down by a large margin here in the second. Double op setup. An M4 in the Twinkie's hands. 2 players on scarce buy in terms of weaponry. So this is most certainly an opportunity for rounds to strike what could be the final blow. Their money not looking the best, so if they lose it, this is an opportunity for Megoshort as well to put themselves in a very comfortable spot to even up the scoreline and not let rounds get to number 12. That is the magic number. 1 player defending that site. Opper at the ready. Let's see if he can hold them at bay because his teammates are far from a good position to rotate. Vera gonna get tested. Burning in the flames, but finds a kill nonetheless. Connects on the second, and number 3 to boot. Shutting this down is Vera. And there's only 2 T's left to find. They're looking to find something across the map, and they do get 2 kills. But the bomb is in no man's land, and they have a lot of space still to gain. Next frag needs to be found. Monarchs actually saw the shoulder and gets the kill. All of a sudden, this is a 2 versus 2. Short-lived, though, as Monarchs gets gunned down, and Drazar gets the final blow. It's Megoshort on 9. Number 10 could be very soon in their hands. A force buy expected of rounds. The question is, how will they use the little money they have? Still some twists and turns in this tale. This best of 3 could go either way yet again. Secondary Opera unretrieved by Megoshort in the previous round, so only Drazar will wield the big green. Seems like a very fast push toward the B bomb site, guarded by 3 players, might get completely stuffed if they take B with pace, especially given the fact that the CTs also have control of mid, might be allocating another player to B. That will be the case. Zen just looking to cut down or rotate, going through the smoke. They might cost him. That might cost him, and it will. And now this opens up so much space for the rounds players. They could go anywhere across the map. Makes life very difficult for the defenders. No Twinkie alleviates some of the pressure, but now it's back on with his demise. A 4 versus 3, and now rounds are taking their time. They know that they have the upper hand in this one. And this will completely collapse the finances of Megoshort should rounds get to number 12. In theory, it could be a freebie to finish off this best of 3. CTs need to be up to the task. Still, that B hit seems like a surefire thing. Jays are unable to stop them. Only 1 player now between them and getting round number 12. It's quick. His teammate gonna be slow on the rotate, so he needs to hold the line, survive for as long as possible, and he's doing just that. 20 seconds on the clock, and now they change their minds. Now they go to A, but Vera will be quite quick to on that rotate. The quick is the one that dies, and Vera now alone in 1 versus 3. Needs to find the frag as soon as possible. Finds 10 seconds on the clock. This is so dicey. This is so dire. He can stop the bomb plant, and he's not gonna do it. Just waiting for the correct peak. Jump. Oh, that's so unlucky. His mouse jump in then unopportune timing. It's rounds getting this one, but it was down to the wire. It was very, very close. 3 match points. And a tactical timeout now for the T's to think about how to close this one out. Look at the money on the Megoshort side. Not looking good, far from it. Mostly pistols will be in their hands for what could be the last round of play. We're going to figure out very soon where that takes us. Even if they don't use this situation, they're going to definitely have 1 more with a proper buy. Of course, they're hoping to finish this here and now, not make it stressful for themselves. Zen wants to be aggressive. He was very silent throughout this entire map. 4 kills to his name. Bottom of the scoreboard. Any way you look at it. And by far, he was very good on Inferno, if I recall correctly. The only saving grace of his team on that map. Rounds to control the mid, and they're taking things very slow, just waiting for a mistake to be made, and it already has. Vera went out of A main and got gunned down by Lapa. And look at that. P12 was lurking the entire time, and Cave just walked out of it, and now he has the complete control of B. Seems like this is over. Well, rather 2 versus 5, but it will be a 1v5 very quickly, it seems. Monox finds 1, unable to connect onto the other, but it's Zen against 4. Grabs the AK, but they know his exact position. No kit, 54 points of health. that one flash only piece of utility he has, simply no chance. It's Rounds surviving another day of the CCT 6 plans, knocking Megoshort out of the competition. An interesting best of 3 to watch, given that the first map was very comfortable for the Swedes, but afterwards they didn't really show anything on the second map, apart from Zen. I think he was topping the charts for them on Inferno, and this one could have gone either way. Sadly for them, it did not go the Swedish way. It went to the Finns, and they will be playing for that pass through the groups. Of course, they need to win one more best of 3 to go through the group stage, and afterwards to win one more best of 3 in order to go to CCT 6 proper. As I said, a very interesting looking best of 3, and I think that both teams can be relatively happy with how they've played, but at the end of the day, Megoshort, I think they'll be kicking themselves just a little bit. That CT side of Inferno really cost them, and I think that had it been just a hair better, it would have been a much more interesting map, given that they started solidly well the second half, and Ancient, it was down to the wire in a couple of situations. This way, or rather this time, Megoshort fell just a little bit short of the competition. Of course, we still got 2 best of 3s of today. Both will be qualification matches later on at 1600 hours and at 1900 hours Central European Summer Time. So there is a lot of interesting. Of course, Counter-Strike still yet ahead of us on this stream, and the player of the match is Ikis. He has been very, very good. 55 kills, 35 deaths, and he's been very solid, very consistent. That op rarely missed. He didn't really do something insane, incredible plays, as I think was the case with Jazar, but he did enough for his team to go through, and at the end of the day, job well done. Can't really say much more than that. He did what was asked of him, and what was asked of him is simply the fact that you do what you need to do, and he exactly did that. So we'll be looking at rounds, at least one more best of 3 in this season of CCT. Of course, what they are going to do, we're going to figure out in the coming days. Of course, as I mentioned previously, 2 more best of 3s await you on this stream of CCT, so you can go ahead and check them out at 16 and 1900 hours Central European Summer Time. That's it for me for today. It was always a pleasure to cast for you guys, and see you some other day. I wish you a good day.